Hello everybody, my name is Asif Akram. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Systems Limited. I'm here today with Ghazanfar Ali, who's the IBM Country General Manager. We are live from the Systems Engineering Garage from our systems offices in Lahore. And today we have a very interesting topic, which is around change management, and change management specifically in COVID times, and how our tech industry has been reacting to this change management. In today's session, we wanted to call out and shout out for our students and academia more, especially for the students who are currently going through their education and looking at the world, which has changed so much for over the last 1 year, and wondering what's happening and how will they manage this change. What we would do is we would try and break it out for all our students and academia and all the professionals, and see how things are shaped up during the year. Ghazanfar, I thank you for being at the systems office. Welcome, and a few words from you.
Asif, thank you very much for inviting me today. I think it's a great initiative to have these exchanges with academia, industry, and professionals. I would like to congratulate Systems on the wins which you're creating in the market. I mean, you are the most talked company right now in Pakistan, and I think it's a great honor for the industry to see a company like Systems grow like this, and it's a great pleasure for IBM that our partners are growing like this. So it's a good feeling to be here, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Excellent, thank you very much, Ghazanfar. So today what we will talk about is all the change, as I said, that's happening because of COVID-19 around the world. We have got some really good questions that some of the students have asked us, which will cover a wide range of topics. But what I want to do is spend a minute, and maybe you can do the same, and talk about how we both see the change, correct? What COVID did for all of us is changed life completely, as professionals, as people who were really serving the tech industry. Overnight we had to go and work from home. Overnight we had to be on Zoom and Teams and all the video conferences, and our customers were also adjusting to that. So there's a lot of change that happened in the industry, and how technology really adapted to this. That was amazing. A year has gone by and technology hasn't missed a beat for us. So a few views from you, Ghazanfar.
I think it's very important to understand, and especially if you are sitting in a college or university right now, trying to get into the industry, to understand how system works. And when I say system works, how the global system works. Pre-COVID, we were already in a phase of digital transformation, where some businesses went into digital transformation, some businesses were doing it. And one of the fundamental change which happens once you go into a transformation journey, that your core mechanism changes. I mean, from efficiency or productivity, it goes to outcomes, which means you have to think new outcomes which you can create for your business, which you can create for your customers, and that's this fundamentally different model than the old industry model. What happened in COVID actually, it did to the businesses what it did to the human beings, right? The most adaptive human beings, the most fittest human beings survived, and whoever had the weakness, that weakness got exposed in the COVID. And so what happened, the businesses which were lacking in this vision, businesses which were going behind, they were pushed by COVID in a big way to go into digital way. Even a small mom and pop shop is now pushed to have some digital front, because their customers are talking about a digital interactive way or stuff like that. So the world in which you are getting ready to come in is fundamentally different, because what could have happened over 5 years, that has happened over a short period of 1 year. But at the same time, as you said, Asif, I think technology kept up. I mean, we were all expecting that everybody will be on Zoom, our networks will burst. They didn't. We survived. Our students, our kids learned to go online. We found a way to work from remote locations. There were new tools adopted, there were new methodologies adopted. So it also showed that there was a resilience in the whole system that we could adopt to this change. I think the key is we keep this resilience, we keep all the lessons learned from this, and accelerate the future in a more structured way rather than the way we have done it in the past.
A lot of lessons learned. And what I'd like to do is let's start and open the floor for some questions. I know we've got some video questions from some of the students, because that's where we need to address academia and our students, and give them a lot of comfort on this change. I think this is one of the change that was managed very well by the human mankind and technology. So let's start some of these questions.
Hello, my name is Anam, student of Institute of Business Management, IBM Karachi, and my question from you guys is that what contingency plans do you follow if the change management plan goes wrong and not as what you expected?
So I think that's
spot on. So no contingency plan work.
So that's the thing, right? So the traditional old school change management is gone, right? I mean, the old school change management was that this is what I want to do, this is my plan, and you have plan A, plan B, and you're done with it. Now the change is so rapid, and environment is so unpredictable that you have to have a very agile adaptive methodology around change management. So it's not that I want to do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Now the method is that I want to go in that direction, and I'll figure out a way to get to that direction while I travel. So whether it's path A, path B, path C, whether I have to take zigzag. So I think the fundamental shift is in the overall approach of how you take the change management. It's not step, discrete, detailed plan which works anymore.
I think the contingency plan question is becoming irrelevant right now, because we have to adopt, we have to change as things keep changing. And I think COVID has been kind of a catalyst for all of us. We were all waiting for something like that to happen. We were all thinking, things will work, but COVID, I think, changed it completely for us. Yes. So I thank you for that. Next question, please.
My name is Asif Akram. I'm a student of Career Counseling and Education, SPH Trust. I have a question related to change management. Since the very start, when the COVID-19 pandemic started, the organizations have evolved a lot, and the workspace has shifted to remote. Similarly, when we will step out of this COVID-19 world, then again the workspaces will evolve, and there will be certain challenges that will be faced by the organizations. So, in my point of view, the biggest challenge that the organizations would be facing would be the work-life balance and how to manage it, how to maintain it. So basically, my question to you is that how the work-life balance can be maintained, and what kind of change management strategies could be applied in such a situation? Thank you.
So I think one thing again, as I said, like the digital transformation, there were some thought leaders who started early. In this space also, there were organizations which started early with the concept of work-life integration. It was not about the balance, it's how you integrate your work in your life, which means you have to take care of your health, you have to take care of your family, you have to take care of your work. You just need to make sure that your productivity doesn't go down, right? And I think, again, the COVID was the biggest catalyst. Even the people who didn't believe on it, now they believe. I mean, I have seen people who were saying that if people start working from home, their productivity will go down in a big time. Now they are the biggest believer that this work-life integration model is better. So I think there will be a general understanding across the board that it's not about the balance. It's not about the physical location. It's about the integration of both things. And we have to find, we have to keep finding the tools and technologies and processes which help us in keeping the productivity and outcome, consistent.
Absolutely. So maybe a couple of months before COVID, I had one of my departments and teams. We were saying, "Can you work from home?" And the manager came, "No, we can't work from home. It will take the productivity down."
Yeah.
And as soon as COVID happened, 2,000 plus of our employees in systems all switched over to work from home overnight, and globally millions of people. So as you said, it's no longer, and just to answer the question, it's no longer about work-life balance. it is this integration, and that comes with some challenges as well. How do you differentiate between family time and work time? Because you're no longer coming to office regularly.
Yeah.
So expectation is that you're always available. So to that question, I think it is those changes that are going to be more important. Is when do you stop work, when do you start family life? Because you're at home. The second thing I believe is we also have to get our families involved with some of our work that we do to bring that integration in. Kids are around us and at home, they think, whatever work we do is important, so get them involved. That also creates some work-life integration and brings some of those barriers down. So how do you manage your day? How do you bring your families together? And how do you manage your productivity is going to be putting more pressure on individuals, because no longer about working from office, it's working from anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what work-life integration brings.
And I'd just like to add one thing. I look again, the employer relationship has changed as well.
Absolutely.
So it was earlier it was about satisfaction, all this is now about engagement. And now employers are coming up with more and more programs where they have this integrated view of the employee's life.
Absolutely.
Which includes healthcare, which includes mental pressures because of work from home and all that. So more tools and technologies will come in and complement this integration over the period of time.
And the technology is there to support us, correct? So to students, my point is, let's no longer talk about work-life balance. Let's talk about work-life integration.
Correct.
Let's talk about how we will manage this.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Next question, please.
Hi, I'm a recent grad of analyst group Yaman. My question for COO Exchange initiative is it always beneficial to have a change in systems and processes? I mean, it's the first rule of programming: if it works, don't touch it. And how would it help business and employees? What's in it for them?
It's a great question. It's a very relevant question.
You can start first.
Add to that.
Yeah.
Because, we did not have a choice this time. Yes, it's not always recommended. We always say if it's not broken, don't fix it. But we don't have choices these days anymore. With COVID is just one example, but there are so many alternative things happening around us which are forcing us to change.
Right.
Change the way we work, change the way we interact. As you said, employers are coming with this integrated approach to the relationship. We're talking about 4 days a week.
Yeah.
4 working days a week. I think the question is relevant because we need to talk about productivity and how we can get maximum amount of individuals while they are performing for us.
Correct.
It's no longer about do we change or not, do we not change. We still in Pakistan and in developing countries will have a lot of people working out of offices, and that's fine. It's not saying everybody is at work from home.
Correct.
So I think it's no longer a necessity to change, but it's a will to change that is.
Yeah, and again, what we say is that the ultimate survivors will be the people who are the most adaptive to the change, right? So what happens is that I think one core thing which one needs to understand, the change is always happening, right? And the smart people are those who are able to understand the change, who are able to understand its implication, and who are able to understand and create new value out of the change, right? So the process of change will not stop, right? So we cannot have a blanket statement. I can agree that probably we don't need to change the process, but change overall will always happen, and there is no point getting rigid around this thing that we should not change. The point is be humble, try to understand what's the impact on the work I do, the value I create for my business, for my family, for myself, and how in a changing environment, which is external in most of the cases. I mean, how I interact with others, it used to be a very physical interaction before. Now it's a digital interaction.
Absolutely.
Now I cannot withdraw from this because I don't want to change the process.
Absolutely.
Right? So
the
the concept is that, so change will always happen. We just need to make sure that, we stay relevant to the changes.
Absolutely.
Currently enrolled in NUMS on my master's program in economics, have a small question that what is going to be the future of the workspaces post this COVID and presently this COVID situation? So that's what I would like to ask. Thank you so much.
As I said earlier, it's integrated. It will be on need basis, right? So people will remain in the hybrid model. Key principle is if you don't have any productivity loss because you're sitting from home, working from home, most of the organization would want you to stay at home.
Yeah.
Right? But if there are productivity areas, then there are productivity areas. So if you're working on a complex project where productivity goes up because you are sitting together to solve some issues, then you would need office. So offices will be redesigned for a different interaction, and work style will be redesigned for a different style of interaction. But it will not be a pre-COVID time. It will not be the current time. It will be evolving to something new, which will be refined over the period of time, because 1 year is a good enough time for everybody to gather the data that what is productive, what is not productive, or home and not, right? And most of the organizations are doing this right now. They are doing a deep study of who remain productive, where we got the hit, what kind of future office requirements are there, and how we redesign our spaces so that where we need this productivity, where the productivity really gets hampered because of this connectivity issue, how we can create more adaptive scenarios in the office so that those teams can work more productively. So we won't go back to pre-COVID. We won't be in this shape. We will evolve to something new, and that will be a very data-led decision. It will not be a hinge or
exactly.
We were guessing in the beginning. We got some clue. Now we are getting clarity. Eventually, we will evolve to the model.
So I almost feel that people are living their lives while COVID is happening in parallel. They're making decisions based on that. There was a study I read in the beginning of COVID that it will be, more than 30% of the workforces that today go to offices will go remote. So the number can be anything. I'm not going to guess the number, but for sure there'll be a huge number of people who were pre-COVID coming to offices will work remotely. And I think that is something we need to understand, that it's just going to be a very different model. And I think now for coming times, it will always be a hybrid model. I take COVID as almost 9/11. If you remember when 9/11 happened, the way we traveled changed. With COVID in our industry, the way digital works, the way tech works, the way we connect remotely, the way we work from home or office is all going to change. So the point people have to, and a lot of students have to keep in mind, that you just have to be adaptive. If you adapt, if you are, as you said, a workforce which has to come to office, please do create your social distance and continue to work. But yes, you're right, we're going to evolve to something there.
I'm an associate software engineer. For one point for me was to ponder on about the change management, that can you just highlight points which are really effective for new individuals in Systems Limited to adapt this change environment very easily? Because as you has a very diverse environment, there are different individuals, and it will be really helpful for us if you can just highlight few of the elements which will be really effective for us to adapt within this environment. Thank you.
So I think we talked about a lot of these elements, and systems went through, there's a very system specific questions for Systems Limited. We went through this change, and overnight, the first thing happened, we all went remote. A lot of change that happened there. Then we all started connecting over videos among ourselves, with our international offices and with our clients. Huge change that started happening. More and more, the teams started to become responsible for their productivity. They were no longer in the office interacting and being watched, they were just working themselves. So just look at these three huge changes. Working from anywhere, mainly home, connecting over video rather than interpersonal, and then at one point just talking to the computer the whole day. It was a huge change. And then being owner of your own productivity. And that change, I think, I was surprised that a lot of our teams, actually almost all our teams, really adapted very well. So if I answer that question, I think we've already gone through that change. And it's now stabilization phase. Work-life amalgamation, integration has happened. we now need to maintain. People are now getting a bit bored with it because it's been a year, but I just tell everybody, keep at it, make those same decisions as you were making before, and keep them really, really simple for yourself. Be in office when you have to, when you don't have to, don't be. Work from anywhere is a policy, continues, and that's what we want to do. We need to manage. Okay, all right, so I think coming to end, we had all our questions. I had some fun here, and I think we had some very interesting questions. I just want to share the good news with the tech industry, with the students. We in Pakistan are getting extremely lucky. We have huge demand coming for technology, and this is post-COVID driven or pre-COVID, during COVID driven. It's no longer about Ghazanfar digital transformation. It is just adopting to simple technologies for a lot of organizations, maybe healthcare, education, retail, all of that. And that's creating global demand for us. We just recently saw that our export grew 40%. And we are seeing this actually with our own eyes, that demand is increasing. So to all the fresh professionals, experienced professional students, there is huge good news. And this change is well managed right now, as you can see it.
Yeah, and I would like to end on this, small advice to you, right? So when we are sitting on this side of the business and the amount of change we have spoken and things which we see from the industry perspective, I think one thing which is happening is because of all this accelerated transformation from one business to other, and then global expansion on IT, Pakistan getting more opportunity and stuff like this, it is becoming a very, very skill dependent thing, right? And our experience is when we get people out of universities, especially when you guys come out of academia, we are looking for skills, we are looking for EQ, we are looking for the business acumen. So you need to focus on these three things. While you are at universities, you are studying, look into the opportunities where you can work properly in terms of internships, develop some deep skills, and in the whole topic of change management, I think the most important thing is motivation. As Tom Friedman said, that in future NQ will be bigger than IQ and EQ combined, which means when there is a lot of change, then the biggest challenge is to keep yourself motivated to adopt to the new change, learn new skills, unlearn, and then so you have to prepare yourself for a world which will keep changing, and you will be driven by your own motivation and your skills, right? So three areas, focus on them. There is a huge opportunity in front of us, and I really wish you all a great luck ahead.
Ghazanfar, huge thank you from me for the whole systems team. Thank you very much for being here and contributing.
Thank you.
Signing off from the Systems Engineering Garage. Thank you very much, everybody.
And we will put our masks back.
Yeah, let's do that.